Hey y'all, welcome to Carbon Scoring. I watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision and I'm hooked. It's quirky and funny, but there's that underlying menace that you can tell that there's still something big going on. I can't wait for the rest of the episodes, and so I thought this might be a great time to do a deep dive into the comic and action figure history of Vision and the Scarlet Witch. So we're about to get started, and I'm not going to give away too much of the comic book history because I don't want there to be any spoilers that might ruin the rest of the series. Yeah, okay, except for maybe this. I can't wait for this to happen. So let's dig in. When I looked around at my action figure displays, I realized that the Vision and the Scarlet Witch are inseparable. They are together in every single display that I have. Here they are, together on the Avengers shelf. They're joined at the hip in Marvel's 8-inch Famous Covers line from 1997. And even in my Avengers Hot Toys display, they always go together. But it wasn't always like that. Wanda came first, appearing in the 4th issue of X-Men with her father Magneto and her twin brother Pietro or Quicksilver as part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Apparently, the fact that she's Magneto's daughter has been removed from continuity, but
his mama named him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. That's right.
But she was quickly redeemed from her evil ways and joined the Avengers all the way back in issue 16. She has spent the better part of the last 6 decades as one of Earth's mightiest heroes. The Vision's origin is very comic booky. He was considered a synthezoid or an advanced android who was constructed by Ultron, made out of parts of the original android Human Torch, and then later modified using the brainwave patterns of the Avenger Wonder Man. The one thing that can't be debated, though, is that Vision's first appearance in Avengers issue 57 has one of the most badass covers of all time. Seriously, every single time I pose a Vision action figure, I basically make it look exactly like this cover. Told ya. No, really, told ya. So then it gets kind of creepy, and I guess sort of romantic. Yeah, but no, it's definitely kind of creepy. But old Viz, that sly android dog, makes an honest witch out of her and asks for her hand in marriage. I can neither confirm nor deny that Vision went and asked Magneto for permission to marry his daughter before asking. So they end up getting married in giant-sized Avengers number 4. But this is Vision and Scarlet Witch. It can never be that simple. It's not just a single ceremony, it's a double ceremony, where fellow Avenger Mantis is getting married to the Ghost of the Swordsman, and the wedding is being officiated by Immortus, who is a future version of Kang. Kang himself comes to break up the wedding and is thwarted by Immortus, which is actually himself. Anyway, they're married. They end up starring in not 1, but 2 limited series, and then they go on to live happily ever after. Of course they don't. They're the Vision and Scarlet Witch. Haven't you been paying attention? But all the stuff that happens next could really spoil the upcoming episodes of WandaVision. So let's start talking about action figures, ladies first. Wanda's first 2 action figures came out in 1997, and they may actually be the 2 best ones she's ever had made. The first was in Toy Biz's Earth's Mightiest Heroes line. It was a limited release of only 4 figures that had Thor, Loki, and this totally awesome manga armor Iron Man. But the Scarlet Witch that came with it was great. She's got a cloth cape. She's got this great, really high headdress like George Perez drew. It's a really spectacular looking action figure. Her Famous Covers figure from the same year was one of the highlights of the line. It took a little bit of heat back in the day for having sculpted hair, but let me tell you, 24 years later, that has held up so much better than the rooted hair of the other women in the Famous Covers line. See? I told you. Things went downhill pretty fast, though. Her first Marvel Legends figure is maybe the worst action figure ever made. I was going through some of my boxes the other day. I actually own 2 of these. It didn't even come with a Build-A-Figure part. There's no excuse for owning 1 of this action figure, much less 2. Hasbro did come correct with their next Witch figure, but it's kind of always bothered me that she doesn't have the pink leotard underneath her corset on the top part of her chest, and that headdress is kind of curvy, and I really like it pointy like Perez. They fixed both of those things with their most recent release from the 3-pack with Magneto and Quicksilver, but this one has such a Adam Hughes vibe that it doesn't really fit on the shelf with my other comic book action figures. Look, man, I'm an action figure collector. I'm never going to be satisfied. Maybe I spoke too soon, because this most recent Vision action figure from Hasbro is absolutely perfect. The bright colors, the way that the red and yellow pop off of the green, the swirl of that cape up around his neck. I mean, this thing is... Mwah! Took us a while to get there, though. We had to go through some crappy Vision action figures before we got to that good one. And none worse than this Marvel Gold Vision. Look, y'all, I love Toy Biz. Everything that we have now is based off of the things that they did, but with this Marvel Gold line, it's like they swept up all the extra parts off the factory floor and said, it totally wasn't gold. So there you have it, a retrospective on the action figure history of Marvel's most unique couple. If you liked the video, tell us about it. Hit like, hit subscribe, help us grow the channel, and we'll see you next time on Carbon Scoring. Oh, and Iron Man totally has a nose on this cover.